now about to witness the awesome, crushing might of Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper! Welcome, my friends, to a show that seemingly never ends. This is version 357 Magic. You just watch the show Stomper. You'll see it Robinson. We got a lot to talk about today. Or nothing. You know what I mean. But singing us in as usual, Bob Riley from Stigmata. The record is called Calling of the Ghost. The song intro All is Nothing. Film available from Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California. When it you get the nightclub, hit the car with a hammer, and run your mayor pro tem out of town on the rails, open up some standard restaurant. Hold on. In Central Florida. Listen well. Hands on the Georgia form. Still can't find the cause of death. What's that about? Listen well. I'm on my way back to nowhere. I took my time, but I could not see the plan. But I'm taking a real good look at you. I'm taking a real good look at your face. I'm on my way back to there, so being payback is always nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, I say ladies like there are many of you. I know there are a few women who listen to the show. We're not actually people who have had sex with me. So that's a good sign. Hold on a second. Yeah, let me close out the last text I was sending. Yeah, it's unprofessional, but these are people who I was thinking about coming to the show, you know. Yeah, here's my doctor here. Hold on. Yeah, actually, I'm not joking. About the leg thing. Okay. Okay. So, how you doing, folks? We made it. Looks like we made it. Yeah, today got pushed back for a number of complicated reasons. The mother-in-law is in town, the mother-in-law who speaks not a word of English. And as a consequence of this, we have a wonderful relationship. I think we probably would anyway. She's a nice lady who's only 4 years older than me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. This is like Penthouse magazine letter stuff. Nah, none of that. I've been prone to those kind of excesses before, but not in this instance. You know? Like Frank Sinatra says, not with the family. So, but she and the wife went to Alcatraz. So everything has been not attenuated. In doubt, everything has been loaded on. So that's why the thing is late. And my mom, why is this room is here? It's Palo Alto. I'm not in Spain yet. I'm still here. And good for you. Good for you. I'm still here. Dear Penthouse, I never thought it would happen to me, but hey, listen, I know people it's happened to. It's just FYI. If you're in that position, this friend of mine, Jason, you don't mind me telling the story. He had the choice between the mother. The mother and daughter were both after him. Now, I don't recommend this because I think this breeds conflicts, the kind of which the Bible wrote about. This is why you do not do this. But given that this was a religious community that we're part of, I guess it didn't seem that crazy. He goes, what should I do? They're both making the play for me. And I said, well, you got to go for the mom first and then the daughter. Because the mom will be insecure about her age and never go for you if you go for the daughter first, because you go, of course he would go for the daughter. She's young, she's pretty. And look at me, I'm old, and blah, 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 blah. However, if you go with the mom first, the daughter, in the never-ending battle to show her mom, will still sleep with you. But let me tell you that this is the dirt end of acceptable behaviors, and you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. Listen to me. I'm telling you. Tell you, don't do it. It breeds. Hey, listen, I know a guy whose wife dumped him. He gets divorced. And what's his first move after that? A play for her sister. And as luck would have it, the younger sister goes for it. This is bad. And the best case scenario, what do you think Thanksgiving is going to look like? You marry the sister and everything is hunky-dory. What do you think Thanksgiving is going to look like? Come on, stop it. Yeah, of course she knows my mother-in-law is very complimentary. She said, Eugene is an amazing guy. If you look at his face, he looks like he's 20 years younger. Wait for it. But if you watch him move, it's like, hey. Now I'm walking with a cane. Actually, I got rid of the crutches and I moved to the cane. And I got rid of the cane. Some guy comes into jiu-jitsu and sees me sitting there with the cane. He goes, I'm surprised this is not one of those canes that fires bullets or has got a sword in it. And I just look at him and say, when have you ever known me to be off brand? And the guy's like, ha, 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 ha. And he's laughing. And he goes and pulls the handle out. And then I'm talking to somebody else. I'm not even paying attention. I look back and it's clear the dude is unnerved. I go, what? Give me that. What's the matter with you? Did you really think I'd be walking around with just a stick? Forgetting the fact that I know a screamer, the ancient stick fighting art, Philippines. But I got a gimped up leg. I got to be able to defend myself. You don't be ridiculous. He didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. And then the next day he went and got choked unconscious and he had to be sent away. That's the protocol at Sorrel Academy. Is if you get choked unconscious, you're finished training for the day. Anyway, so she does know my age, but to the moon. So they're at Alcatraz today. It is a pirate ship, and I have done the thing that I hate most in parenting. I set the kid up in front of a movie. She was very patient while I wrote the Substack. And then she's watching a movie now, which maybe you can hear filigrees of Puff and Rock, which seems to be non-offensive in the highest degree. So let her do that. We can finish the show, and the day will be complete. At that point, I can get my dirty ass in the shower, get her washed up, dinner, bath bed, and then we're fine. We're set. Casablanca. So what is this? I got grit on the screen. I'm spitting on the screen. So let's go back a little bit in time. Also, for those of you who get bored with the exegesis, know that I am finally on the edge of taking the BPC that was given to me, that I bought, a year ago, but have been too afraid to take because it says on it, not fit for human consumption. And Rick, help me, Rick, help me, Rick. And I'm not saying I'm opposed to taking things that are not fit for human consumption. The first time I took ketamine, it said on the thing for subhuman primates. I'm a kind of a beast, but I'm not a subhuman primate. So I took it anyway. This one scared me, but I got a lot of guys. Of course, the only reason it scares me, I got it right here. The only reason it's scared, BPC 157, for research purpose only, not fit for human use. The only reason I have concerns about it, and this is what you can look up, is the angle of the dangle. Every single thing I take, from multi-minerals to multivitamins to turmeric to B12 to magnesium to melatonin, gets factored in the same machinery. will it affect the angle of the dangle? You know, because you'll be taking something, Jesus pills. No, I didn't say Jesus pills. You'll be taking something for months and then figure if it interferes with the erection, I can't have it. I can't have it. It cannot happen. Cannot happen. So if during the course of the show you have some idle time because you're bored with something I'm ranting about and you want to type, God damn it, you want to type in BPC erectile difficulties, please do so. These are the wages. This is the way. I said, nah, I can't run that risk. Yeah, exactly. Jimmy is got it right. I can't run that risk. I can't do it. So anyway, so let's go back in time. So scared the guy with the cane. He got choked out. Well, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. This week has been a crazy. What the results are all over the place. I know that's what I got. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna take it anyway because the knee. I got to be in shape for the tour. April 7th, man. I got scant time. I'm walking without the cane now. But walking is very different from jumping around on stage. And especially since I'm right-handed and my angle of attack is always with that lead right leg. So I got to switch it up in ways that'll be weird for me. Of course, down goes Frazier. And this is his Foreman. George Foreman is some people confused about his age. He was born in 1949. The math has out that he was 76, not 86, like some people thought. If he was 86, he would have been born in 1939. He was not born in 1939. He was 76. And yet I can find no cause of death. Don't tell me natural causes. Most people don't die at 76. Stop it. I want to know what happened. Big people don't live as long, especially if they stay big for the entirety of their lives. He was a lifelong athlete, was boxing into his 40s, but that doesn't mean anything. Jim Fixx, the guy that first write the book on running that popularized running, he died of a heart attack, but he also smoked. So you don't know. Steve Albini, rail thin, gained about, I don't know, was very heavy at the end and was smoking. Somebody told me sneaking cigarettes and such. I don't know. Eugene S. Robinson, guy that kept his weight under control, but was injecting things not fit for human consumption. So who knows? So was it diabetes? I don't know. And then now they talk off the diabetes is reversible, which is clearly the case because I was pre-diabetic last year when I was drinking a gallon of Arizona iced tea, green tea a day, a gallon. Because I thought, wow, green tea. I'm eating a lot of fish because I'm a pescatarian. You see how it all slides downhill? So George Foreman, as far as I'm concerned, George Foreman was a phenomenal bridge between Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali. I still think the Muhammad Ali Liston fight was faked, and that Liston was murdered. You got to remember, the 60s were a high point for the mob. They were involved in the murder of the president, the district attorney, and Sonny Liston. So, or Jimmy Hoffa. Let's not round out. That was in the 70s. Let's round out the big killings in the 70s. 60s and 70s, mob directed, mob involved. They don't fuck around, or they didn't back then. Foreman was an interesting cat. It was the three Substack possibilities were Foreman, but I don't want to turn the page into an obituary page because a lot of people are going to die between now and then. Did I have a special feeling for George Foreman? I've been there for every stage of George Foreman. I like his later life and reinvention. I got one of his grills here in the house. Who knows whether he had anything to do with the grill or it was a white label type deal. He just signed his name to it. Whatever. He sold tons of them. Had enough to be able to have 5 sons all named George. Interesting cat. Don't have any personal contact with him. I don't know why he went back to boxing, except for the fact that there was a lacuna that he could fill and make a bunch of money doing it. So good for him. I mean, I remember the badass Foreman. I remember the avuncular, chubby, cute Foreman. I remember them all. But I will not venture a guess to any serious turn at obit until I find out what he died from. And I don't know why that's necessary, but I think it's necessary. Yeah, man. He did. It was team old guy all the way, all the way. Strong. Yeah, that's funny about Hogan. Hogan was too busy fucking, I guess, so to make that happen. So anyway, so that as foreman, it was the upcoming Buñuel tour, and then the Marty G's confessional this week. If you read the Substack, you'll recognize right away who I don't. I didn't tell him I was going to use it, so I don't. I adhere to no surprise thing. I wanted to quote him truthfully and accurately, but I didn't tell him I was going to do so. So I didn't use his name in it, but you'll recognize it. You'll recognize Marty G. And the most amazing thing was this week. So I've been going in limited time on the mat, just off my back. As soon as I reverse to draw my knees up under me, to have my knees down is almost impossible, which you might imagine can fuck with the fuck game. Or just a little bit. If you can't kneel, what can you do? Well, you can stand. So you can stand, and that is useful. That is useful. Except when you stand and you start to get pumping, your knee starts to hurt, and then there goes the angle and the dangle. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear anything about your physical, especially when you're old. Nobody wants to hear that. These glasses are dirty as shit. It's like wearing a mask. So once we find the BPC solution and the leg, who knows? You make do, man. You make do. That's my attitude. That's how I have attained mastery of the sport of jiu-jitsu. It's by, you work it out. There's no quitting is not an option. You make it work. There are guys out there in the mat who are blind. There are guys on the mat who are deaf. There's a guy I saw who had no legs on the mat. There's a guy who's got one arm on the mat. Don't tell me I can't be on the mat and be effective. Right now, it's a tear. I got an MRI scheduled for Tuesday. I go in, see a doctor. I was there for the x-ray. Nothing's broken. But so, I don't want to do this old guy thing. You don't need to hear about my personal travails. Anyway, let's go back in the week. That's a little bit better.
To it.
Anyway, the show is done. The little red caboose. The show is done. Remember, we got 3 more weeks of fights like the last nights where we don't give a shit. So we'll find stuff to talk about. Tuesday, if the shoes fit. This next week, Bad Boss Brief on the discounter. Talk about Darvo. Tell some stories close to the vest. And I don't want to scream because I don't want to blow the kids' thing out. But you know how we end the show? Look what you made me do! Oh, God. Don't die, Blondie. Oh, whispering is worse. Don't.